Not quite yet.
Okay.
And we're live. How are you, Lynette? Nice to see you. Lynette is joining us from, where exactly are you joining us from, my friend?
Westlake Village, outside LA.
Right.
From our
and we're welcoming Lynette MacDonald. So nice to have you here. So great to have you. We will notice your accent. It was the first thing that I noticed when I spoke to you about coming on and live. And I said, so is that a British accent? Is that an Irish accent? Especially since we were making some, you were recommended to make a St. Patrick's Day recipe. And you said, oh, heavens no, I'm from Australia. So are you Irish descent Australian or just Australian?
Yes, because I have red hair, so yeah, we all have a bit of Irish in us over there. A lot of Irish people live in Australia, so yeah, it's a in many hundreds of years ago, they had a lot of convicts sent over there. A lot of them were from.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Right, wasn't it? It was a penal island, wasn't it, for all of the convicts sent to Australia, right?
Yes, it was. Yeah. So, and when they got there, they loved it, so that was good.
Yeah, and they brought a lot of people. Let's see who's joining us. We usually get already quite a few comments, so let's just see who's here. Susan Mendorf is here. Frank Sully is here. Susan Foreman is here. Lynette, they're saying hello, Lynette.
Hello.
So everybody is starting to find us. Quite a few people are here. So how does a young woman from Australia end up in California and working for a large company called Thermomix, which if you are looking at us right now live on Facebook, you see this big, beautiful,
actually it's not big. I'll just show you that, it just looks big because I have it at the front of the camera.
I gotcha. Okay, so how do you get from Australia to California?
So I've always been in the kind of loving food and cooking and eating and loving to eat. So I did a lot of training in London at Le Cordon Bleu when I was much young. When I was very young. And then I stayed on as a teacher, and then I moved back I was born in Zambia, Central Africa. So I then moved back there.
You were actually born in Zambia.
Yes. And then I stayed there till I was 31, and then I migrated to Australia. And I owned a delicatessen over there, and then I just decided I hated that kind of thing. So I went into the law, and I ran a huge law firm over there of barristers.
My daughter's not only a lawyer, but she's a judge, and so is my son-in-law is also a lawyer. So we love we love the law here. I just want to say hello to Teresa Anderson. I want to say hello to Jimmy Carter, who is watching, who just came on. Nice to see both Jimmy and Teresa here. Teresa, we missed you yesterday. But so anyway, go ahead.
Yeah, so then one of my barristers, who's the trial, they are trial attorneys. Yeah. She said to me, come and have a look at this machine. It can make risotto and bread and ice cream and minestrone soup. And I thought, what a load of BS. Because I've been in that industry and I thought there's nothing that could do all that, right?
Right.
So when I went to see the Thermomix, we like, oh my goodness, it was like all our mouths dropped open. And so we all bought one there and then.
Oh my gosh, wow.
And then I became the top selling consultants of Thermomix in Australia. So when they started up here, which was in the very end of 2015, I was offered a position over here. So I thought, oh, well, when I was 17, I used to like the Beach Boys, the music. So I thought, that's it. I'm off to California.
Oh, that's amazing. And so how long have you been there now? Answer that question, but I'm going to get a power cord because I'm losing power. So just answer that question while I go. So I'm right here. You just can't see me.
So I've just been here since the end of 2015. So just on 6 years, and I got my green card, so all good.
Oh, that's amazing. That's amazing. So we are going to cook together. I'm just plugging in right now with the power cord. We're going to cook together, but I'm going to make this same recipe traditionally, and you are going to make it in the Thermomix, which is really going to be exciting. Martine Goldberg is here. Hey, Martine, which is going to be very exciting for everybody to see. So we are making a green pea and mint soup, and we chose this recipe because it's green. St. Patrick's Day is coming up. Every picture that I have of Lynette, she is in green. So even though hundreds of years ago her ancestors were Irish, apparently you've kept the tradition going with the green and the red hair and the fair skin and green pea and mint soup. So I have all my ingredients ready to go. I've pre-chopped and done everything because I know that traditional cooking has to keep up with the Thermomix, right?
True.
Yes.
Oh, well,
So
okay. So I'm just gonna put my electronics. The Thermomix has built-in scales, so I'll put my scales.
Tell us a little bit about Thermomix. Like, when was it invented? What is the purpose of it? What is it that it's meant to do?
So it was first invented 51 years ago in Germany, and so it was really invented for cooking baby food, because there was this guy cooking baby food at home and in the traditional pot and burning it, and then he'd put it into a blender and it would splatter everywhere, and you know how those things, and they don't always blend up properly. So he took it to Thermomix. Thermomix company, the Vorwerk, who makes Thermomixes, has been around for about 140 years. It's a family-owned company, still in the same family. They make carpet weaving looms and the best vacuum cleaners, and of course the Thermomix. So yeah, and worldwide it's a phenomenon. Everybody has them overseas. America is not so fast to catch on, but we're hoping everybody wants to get one.
Well, for sure. So, would you liken it to a Vitamix or a step up from that?
Well, I mean, Vitamix is a good blender, but it doesn't cook, whereas Thermomix actually has built-in scales. It cooks. We have over 80,000 recipes in the Thermomix. It's Wi-Fi enabled, so they're all 100% guided. So if you can't cook, this will make you into a chef in 2-3 minutes, as long as you can read. It goes into all sorts of languages, 26 different languages. It can be metric or imperial. But the great thing is literally the guided, step-by-step guided recipes. And with the guided recipes, it actually activates the scale for you, so you know how much to put in, and then it moves on to, it's got to be and then cook too.
So let's have a discussion about that, because I noticed that the recipe that you sent me was in ounces. So I know that when it comes to European cooking, everything is in weight. So not 1 cup of flour, but so many grams of flour. And traditional cooks say that actually you get a much better result from weighing things like sugar, flour, baking soda, baking powder, butter, etc., than you do from actually putting it in a tablespoon, in a cup, in a whatever, right?
Yeah,
and so, yes, and I've had a couple recipes where it was weight oriented, and so I divided by 8 to get the amount of cups by the blah, 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 it was like, drove me a little bit crazy, because it was, I guess we're imperial instead of metric, right? America's on the imperial system, correct?
Correct, and our Thermomix can do both. But all our recipes that are guided in this machine, for if you go to the American site for the Thermomix, they're all in ounces. If you go to UK or anywhere else, it's always in grams.
Yes.
So yeah, it's true. You can get 2 cups and you can weigh the flour, 2 different cups measurements. You can buy one at Williams Sonoma and one at Sur La Table. and they're kind of different weights for some reason.
Yes.
And you weigh it on your scales and it's different. So it is tricky. You're right.
So let me ask you this. Are you familiar with the Innova sous vide cooker? Are you familiar with that? Yes. So with the Innova sous vide cooker, it is Wi-Fi enabled so that you go into the website, you pick the recipe you want, you upload that recipe, and then it automatically sets the timing and everything. So I am assuming with this, it's the same thing. You got, how many recipes did you say?
80,000.
80,000 recipes.
Correct.
That you can cook in the Thermomix.
Yes. And,
wow.
Yeah. So if you could, I mean, and if I do recipe developing in the United States for America, and you know, if you go to our websites, you know, you can change the setting on your Thermomix and go to Spain or Mexico or wherever, or Australia. If you go to those countries, those recipes will be developed in that country for the Thermomix. So they're quite authentic. Yeah.
Okay. How do we begin? So again, I'm traditional. You're going to go Thermomix. This is great. I really just thought we were doing a recipe together. I didn't realize that you represented Thermomix, but I'm very excited to learn all about it.
Okay. So I'm just going to throw my butter and my shallot in there, and I'm just going to put the Thermomix on, and I'm just going to chop it up for a couple of seconds.
So you're chopping up the butter and the shallot in the Thermomix.
Together.
Okay, but I, however, had to chop up my shallot prior to getting into my pot, right?
So it took 2-3 seconds to do that. So it's all done, and now I'm just going to go over here and put on the heat and cook this for 5 minutes, and on 212, which is boiling, and speed 1. So the lid locks down, and
I spent 10 minutes chopping this before we got here, and now I am heating up my butter.
Yeah. So I'm just standing here doing nothing. I have to tell you something really funny. My daughter in Australia has a Thermomix. She's not a very good cook, let's put it that way. I better not say hopeless, but because she'll slap me. But yeah, so anyway, she lent her Thermomix to somebody at her office. And then she rings me up. She says, "Oh, Mom, it's so hard to chop onions." Because she was so used to it in the Thermomix. And of course, no tears.
And no tears because you have that top on. Okay, so my butter is melted and it's starting to sizzle. So I'm going to go ahead and put my shallots in.
Good. Okay.
Now, did you have to change the temperature setting on that Thermomix to melt the butter and the shallots?
No, it's going straight into 212 or Fahrenheit or 100 Celsius.
Okay. So does anybody have any questions for Lynette so far, maybe about the Thermomix or Zambia or Australia or recipe?
A
lot of questions.
Yeah.
So my shallots. Now, why do you use shallots as opposed to maybe a red onion? What's your feeling about that?
Well, you know, a lot of French recipes call for shallots. So I find it's a more gentle flavor than a full-on onion, you know, red onion.
You feel like it has, one of the questions was, I don't think it was a question, it was just a statement, which was, I want one. I don't blame them, right?
Well, everybody should have a Thermomix. They are the most incredible thing. And you know, I've been asked to sell a lot of machines since I've been with Thermomix, and I've just always say, I just believe so strongly in it. So it's just hard to change to anything else because it's just so fabulous.
Well, you know, if you are someone who works all day long and all you really need to do is shop on a Sunday, and then you can like here you are just standing here talking to me. I mean, for all intents and purposes, you could just be drinking a glass of wine and I'm sitting here stirring this to make sure it doesn't burn. Now,
exactly. And the Thermomix is stirring it for me.
yes, and so part of me loves the art of it all, but some nights you're just a little too tired for art, right?
Yeah, I agree 100%. You know, it's fantastic for families who are very busy and you want to spend more time doing the ironing or something, you know, something crazy like that.
Yeah.
And of course, Thermomix makes fantastic cocktails.
Oh, I'll bet it does. Frozen cocktails, I'm guessing, right?
Yeah, well, because it does make ice creams and gelatos and fantastic soups. And it, you know, so you can have a minestrone, you can have a chunky soup, or you can have a silky smooth one. So I've got a neighbor who's loves the silky smooth stuff. So I make her a lot of chicken soup and with lots of vegetables because she's losing weight. So I'm trying to fatten her up a bit.
So my butter is starting to brown and so are my shallots. So I probably need to put the stock
So
in.
I'm going to show you how mine are just sweated.
Yours are just sweated, right?
Yeah.
But just a little bit more. I don't think we can step down more. Up, bottom up. There you go. They're just sweated. I love that name. Hi, Cynthia Berman. Cynthia Berman. Lisa is here. Everybody's finding us. So I'm talking to Lynette MacDonald. Lynette is from Australia, born in Zambia, went to La Cordon Bleu cooking school for 3 years and then was teaching there in London, La Cordon Bleu in London. And now she works for Thermomix, which is the instrument that you're looking at on your screen. And it is a cooking machine, utensil. What do you call it?
I just call it magic. Just throw everything in and it comes out.
Machine that I am making. We're making a green tea and mint soup for St. Patrick's Day, while at the same time I'm cooking it traditionally and she's doing it in the Thermomix for all of us to kind of see.
So I'm just going to put it on for 8 minutes, 212 speed 1.
Okay.
I've thrown everything in. I've thrown the peas in. I've thrown some mint in.
Oh, did we already put that in? Am I already supposed to put that in, or do I need to bring the vegetable stock to a boil first?
No, just throw it all in. It's fine.
Okay. All right. So I've got about 8 ounces.
All for the easy life, right?
Yes. All right. So I'm putting in the peas, about 8 ounces of peas into this vegetable stock, which is simmering. And we want to put in about 5 mint leaves. Is that what you're calling for?
Yeah, about 5, because you don't want them overpowering. I'm just putting some pepper in. I'm not going to put salt in because I always like to check, because the you know, this vegetable stock that we're using may be too salty already. I don't know. So I always just check afterwards. So
okay, you got it. And which kosher salt do you usually use?
I use it's called true salt. I have no idea if it's really true. It's what it's called. Kosher salt is actually the size of the grain. I suppose you all know that already.
Kosher salt is, say that again?
It's the size of the grain that makes it the kosher salt. It's not, it's a certain, what would we say, like the size of the grain. Like, you know, we have caster sugar and powdered sugar and ordinary sugar. Well, kosher salt it's the actual size of the grain.
Well, I do have extra fine kosher salt from Williams Sonoma. So that, but also it's less salty than table salt, as an example.
Yeah. I was told that by those guys from Heston Q, because they actually have, if you have a Heston Q, which is a frying pan that cooks and it's got all the recipes in it, that they have a table of all the salts and how salty they are.
Oh.
So say, if you're going to use XYZ salt, only use this much, but if you're going to use that New Zealand salt, you know, use 2 teaspoons or whatever. It's quite, it's fascinating.
Now I'm going to put some pepper in here, but it also calls for an ounce of cream. Did you put your ounce of cream in already?
No, but I will. I'll put my scale on. I can put my scale on while it's cooking.
Okay.
And I can, but now normally this recipe would just be in the Thermomix guided. So I'm putting in an ounce. Oh, wait, yeah, that's putting an ounce. Normally with the Thermomix, this recipe would be in here guided, but I'm just kind of doing this as a bit of fun today.
Just for fun.
Because I spend my whole life. And the other thing is, if you have a look now, with the Thermomix, you have almost no cleaning up at all. It's all
I can see that. I can see that.
Yeah.
And so are you going to whip the whipped cream in the Thermomix?
Can do, yes.
Yeah. So you would just rinse out the green peas, right? Okay, there we go.
Yeah, you can, or you can just have a second bowl, which is what most people have. Just have another Thermomix bowl.
Okay. Laura Grau is watching. Brenda Mills is watching. Hey guys, any questions for Lynette MacDonald? We're making a pea and mint soup, which smells divine, by the way. I am making it traditionally. She is making it in this amazing machine called the Thermomix. And she is yet to dirty a dish while I have dirtied spoons, dishes, and everything else. So
and also
I caramelize my shallots rather than sweating them. Anyway, go ahead. What were you saying, Lynette?
I said, plus all the measuring stuff you have to do. So the Thermomix just does it for you. And by the way, the Thermomix will actually do your shopping for you as well. So you can, whatever recipes you choose for the week or the day or whatever, just send the shopping list to Whole Foods or one of the big supermarkets, anybody. And then you can add stuff and take stuff off. If you've got salt, you can take that off. So it's fantastic. So it does the shopping for you as well.
So wait a minute, backtrack with me for a minute. You said that it sends the list to Whole Foods for you.
Correct.
And then they can do the shopping for you and bring it out to your car.
Yep. Yeah.
Oh.
We've got a shopping cart. I have to say, I'm the sort of person that really likes to go and check all my stuff out that I'm buying.
Yeah. I don't like a lot of people touching my food, you know, like I want to go in and pick it out myself. But, you know, if there was a time when a few of us had the flu or a few of us had COVID back in the day, thank God that's over. Back in the day when we all might have had COVID, it would have been great to get a few recipes, ship them to Whole Foods and come home.
Yeah, absolutely. And we also have the Thermomix can steam as well. So I'll show you the steamer while we're cooking. Okay,
and I'm going to grab my immersion blender. I'm going to use an immersion blender in this rather than pouring it in my Vitamix. Would you suggest an immersion blender in this, or do you think I should pull out my Vitamix?
Whatever you like.
Okay.
So this is the Varoma, and you can fit a whole chicken in here, or vegetables, or fish. Do fish on the top, or asparagus, or anything, and it actually just sits on the top here while you have some soup or anything in the bottom over here, and you can steam as well. So you can have.
You could steam a whole chicken in that.
Yes, we can do multi-layer cooking, and we do at our cooking demonstrations with our consultants, they actually do meatballs in tomato sauce. So they make this fantastic tomato sauce in the bottom, and they steam meatballs in the top. And everybody says, steamed meatballs, but I guarantee you, once you have one of those, you'll never have a fried one again.
Oh my gosh. Someone asked, where do I get the machine for the Thermomix? And we have a few more people joining us, which is very nice. Thank you so much. Harendera is here and Lingraj is here. This is, people are just fascinated by this. They don't know what to think. But I know this, if you are cooking soup in the bottom of that Thermomix, right?
Yeah.
You have the chicken on top cooking in that bowl.
Yep.
So do the juices of the chicken drip down into the soup?
Yes.
Yes. Okay, how do you brown that chicken?
No, we don't. Well, the only way you can brown it is pop it into under a grill or something. So, but what I do is, I'll tell you, I used to stand in Williams-Sonoma selling Thermomixes. I used to do that when I first came here. And so I did these 2 giant turkey breasts in here, and I sprinkled them with paprika and turmeric and salt, you know, seasoned them with the Williams-Sonoma seasoning. And they were doing their turkey in the oven, and I was steamed mine in the Thermomix, and I made my mashed potato. The Thermomix makes the best mashed potato. So I did the mashed potato, and the turkey juice was dripping on that because added flavor.
Yes.
And then I took that out, made my mashed potato, took it out, and then I made my gravy in the Thermomix. So then I was serving it up as they were serving up theirs as well, mashed potato. And would you believe people were raving about mine, coming back wanting more. Compared to theirs, ours was moist and juicy and really tasty, and theirs wasn't. And they didn't know
breast so dry. Turkey breast can get so dry.
I know, and that's why they were just amazed. So mine's done now, and I'm just going to switch it on.
Okay, I'm going to grab my immersion. Okay, hold on. I'm going to grab my immersion blender, so you won't see me or hear me for 30 seconds. Be right back.
Okay, I'm going to blend my soup up here now.
My goodness, you still have a clean countertop. Do you see how many things I have to clean now? Okay. All right, let's get this plugged in. Oh, here I go, guys.
So done.
Well, my problem is I don't have enough immersed.
Oh, okay.
So I am going to have to use the Vitamix because there's just not enough liquid in this particular pot for the immersion blender.
That was a very big pot.
Yes. Hold on just a minute. Let me grab the Vitamix.
I was going to taste my soup to see if it does need any more salt or pepper. Delicious.
Here's the Vitamix.
So I'm just adding this.
See how quickly you're done. And what is that?
That's for whipping egg whites, whipping cream, and emulsifying. So you can make, all those things you make with whipped cream and egg whites.
One thing I'm noticing, and maybe I'm right, maybe I'm wrong, you tell me, but the sound of that Thermomix is not that loud. Is that correct?
Well, it depends what you're grinding. So making the soup's not so loud, but just say I was grinding up my almonds to make almond flour or almond butter. It's a little bit noisy as it's in the beginning because it's just the nuts hitting the stainless steel bowl.
Right.
Or if you're grinding coffee beans or something like that. So I'm just going to whip up my cream.
Well, I just got a spoonful of pea soup all over my floor, my spoon. I mean, you couldn't have asked for a better person to cook with you because listen, I made every mistake to show how much easier what you're doing is. You missed it, but my wooden spoon hit the Vitamix and went flying up in the air and landed on the floor. Full of pea soup. Okay. Okay, ready? Here we go.
My cream. And we're done. Here we go. Oh, and did I tell you the Thermomix washes itself?
No.
It does.
Okay, there we go. So I'm going to pour it maybe into a cup that you can see through.
Oh, I should have done that then.
Just the seasoning.
Adjust the seasoning.
Did you have to adjust the seasoning?
No, I did not, because I don't like a lot of salt. And
Okay.
I just put a grind of pepper on.
Okay.
The mint.
So look at this, everybody. Look how beautiful and green. I will post this recipe later today. Look at that. That is absolutely beautiful. Definitely for St. Patrick's Day, right?
Yes, I'll put some in mine as well. I've put mine into a soup bowl, which is a bit silly.
So now I'm
Green.
Oh, this is so good. I can't believe it.
And you can taste the peas, and it's because it's fabulous for spring, you know, wonderful.
Yes, it's oh my God, it's delicious. I can't believe it. Okay, now
so simple, so simple.
Very simple. So now what I have to do, just to finish this recipe, and you're putting me to shame over there, young lady, as I have to move all the equipment here, there, and everywhere. I am going to whip this cream. Did you whip your cream?
Yes, I've whipped it. It's already on top of my soup, and I'm done.
Is that cheating?
Not really, because it's the Thermomix, right? And I've got my mint. I've got some mint on the top.
So you didn't put anything in this cream, did you?
No. Can you see that?
Oh, that's beautiful.
Yeah, because I was stupid. I put it in. I put it in a soup bowl. But anyway, that's what it looks like. Vibrant green, fabulous for spring, fabulous for St. Paddy's.
Okay, well, my cream is whipping. I've dirtied up my entire kitchen.
And I have no mess at all. And the Thermomix is just going to wash itself. So this is it's a revolution, a new way of cooking. It's fantastic.
Okay, soft peaks. Let me grab this spoon. We'll be able to see this. That is so fun.
If people are, gluten intolerant or vegans, they can just they can change the butter for the same amount of olive oil. So when you're cooking the onion or the shallot right at the beginning, swap out the butter for olive oil. Yeah, well, that's beautiful.
Isn't that beautiful?
And
look at that.
The cream. Yes.
Oh my gosh.
Yes.
Cheers. Here's to St. Patrick's Day, right? Where's my spoon? Here it is.
Wow, beautiful and hot. Ooh.
Oh, well, yours is hotter than mine. Mine cooled down in the Vitamix. I'm sorry to say.
It would be good cold even, wouldn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well, that's very nice. Thank you, everybody, for watching.
Yes, thank you. This is so delicious. I'm going to take one more long swig as though I'm drinking green beer.
Very healthy too, because got all the the vitamins and minerals in those peas, and they're not cooked out. It's just boom.
It's such a simple recipe, while at the same time it's just so delicious and very rich. Like it doesn't feel like we just threw something together. It just, the peas with the mint and the little bit of the shallots and the butter, just, I mean, you can taste the layers of flavor. It's just fantastic. So let's see, any other, Stacy Cohen is here. Lisa says, fabulous. Everybody has been here for the last, lots of comments. Any last questions for Lynette before we sign off? I really appreciate you joining us. In order for anybody who's interested in looking up the Thermomix, how do they find the Thermomix?
Well, they can just hop onto our website, which is www.thermomix.com.
Thermomix. So THERMOMIX, thermomix.com.
And
Take a look.
have a look. And we usually sell them by consultants. So if you would like to jump on and have a demo, in-home, a virtual demo or anything, you can let me know and I'll grab somebody to help you. Or you can find somebody on our website. It's
Okay.
intuitive.
And I tagged Lynette MacDonald in the post that I did promoting her. So if you look just below this, you will see she's tagged there. So you'll be able just to DM her and just tell her that you're very interested in the Thermomix and she'll get something set up for you. This is awesome. Very awesome. Thank you so very much. It was so nice to meet you.
You too, everybody. Thank you.
I'm going to say goodbye and we're going to go out of Facebook, but I just want to chat with you afterwards. So if you'll sign back on to our Zoom, then we can just finish our own private conversation.
Okie dokie.
Okay. All right, everybody. Oh, and Lynette, I just want to tell you before you go away, we always say together on the count of 3.
Yeah.
Spread love like butter. It's my tagline. Everybody's used to it. And everybody at home listening is going to say spread love like butter. So on the count of 3, 1, 2, 3, spread love like butter. There you go.
Now, I'm in love with butter. I have butter on my bread, right? I have bread on my butter. Everybody here loves it.
Yes, well, I'm just going to tell you something. Poor butter has gotten a bad rap in the last 2 decades, right? Yeah. But there is nothing better than butter. I'm telling you, and you know what? Butter is the sexiest food we eat. And do you know why it is the sexiest food we eat?
No.
Because butter starts to melt at 98.6 degrees, which is exactly the human temperature.
Body.
Yep, body temperature. So when you put that cold butter spread on your bread and you take that bite and it hits the roof of your mouth, it just starts to melt and it is just the sexiest food we eat. So that's why we spread love like butter. How about that?
Okay, everybody, spread love like butter.
There you go.
Love it. Okay.
Bye, everybody.
Bye. Ciao.
Bye.
Bye.
We'll see you in a minute.
Thank you, next.